Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. Remember to like us and subscribe under Kathleen over there, and then follow us on social media. We just had a whole conversation about which episode it was, but I made Kathleen not tell me which episode it was.
So that you can guess.
I'm going to say, she gave me a little bit of a hint. I'm going to say it's 15. Amanda, what do you think?
I think it's 16.
It is 16.
I didn't know either. But
It is,
it seems like it must be 16.
They both have
Sweet
better
16.
sense of numbers.
Woo!
Sweet 16. Yay, Sweet 16. Yay. Anyway, I'm Jen.
Oh, Amanda?
Kathleen.
There we go. We're a little behind today.
We're a little slow in the
It's a little
uptake today. I don't know what it
discombobulous.
is.
There's been a lot going on.
It has.
Yeah.
And you notice it's a very gray day.
It
I
is a gray
definitely
day.
move more slowly when it's a gray day.
I do too.
We're 3 weeks between podcasts.
Yes,
Yes.
that is
Which-
true too.
So maybe
that
that's
means
it.
we have a lot
Yeah.
to talk about. We've been kind of doing a lot of prep,
There's-
thinking about what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was out of town last week.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to do it without you. We said we can wait a week.
Well,
Slash
then I
we
run
can't.
the camera.
That too. That
We
too.
also don't want to do it without Amanda. It is not physically possible because Kathleen and I would be sitting there with my phone being like, it's a selfie.
It's a really long selfie.
Really long selfie. My arm's getting so tired.
It was super fun watching you guys do it together. Like,
Oh,
for
and-
the first time I edited a podcast that I didn't know what was going to happen.
Uh-huh.
It was a surprise.
It was a surprise. That was much more fun.
That's right,
actually.
because halfway through you were like, gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, Charlie's going home. But in the meantime, we did that podcast right before Rhinebeck. So
Yes.
then we went some of us went to Rhinebeck.
Indian Tangles,
And you went to India Untangled.
which was really fun.
So you did more.
Actually, I did India Untangled, Rhinebeck Yarn Bazaar, and Rhinebeck.
That's hardcore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a lot.
it was a lot in 3
She had
days.
the
It was
experience, the weekend experience.
did.
The whole
It did,
thing.
yeah.
I just went to Rhinebeck on Saturday. And Amanda was
I held down the fort.
fun. That's right.
held down the
That's
fort.
right.
But we had our Soldatna meetup for our Soldatna knit along on Saturday at Rhinebeck, which was actually like it was such a fantastic day.
It was an amazing.
yeah,
It was like
that
the
was-
best weather you could have possibly asked for everyone to be wearing their hand knits
Perfect.
and see the glory of the fall leaves and everything.
I
It was
know.
just gorgeous. It was
chilly but sunny, and then it rained on
and
Sunday.
not too cold and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was very glad that I was not there on Sunday because it was
Oh, yeah.
raining.
yeah, exactly.
It wasn't bad. I was there last year when it rained. It was okay.
We had a lot going on that week because we had Rhinebeck. You had a bunch of your events. You had the meetup on Saturday. We also had the Knitted Wit Trunk Show
Yep.
Yes.
that Wednesday.
Yes.
And we also have a drawing for the Knitted Wit Door Prize.
Yep.
We do, which is
Which-
a beautiful skein of watery tart in the Targhee.
Oh, it's
Bulky.
so pretty. So pretty. So we'll do that as well. And then we had Halloween too, like right after that.
And I worked that afternoon. We
Yeah.
got, and the weather was not great, but
No, the weather was
the rain
rainy.
held off.
Yeah.
It held off most of the time before knit night started.
Until like 5:30, because
Yeah,
that would be
yeah.
right about when we were like, we're done with Montclair Ave because it's now raining.
Yeah.
And I see my friend's house. So I'm like, we're
We
going
had maybe a dozen kids here trick or treating, and I
That's not
did bring
bad.
some candy from home
Oh,
because I had
that's
a
a good
feeling.
idea. I forgot about that.
I had a
Good.
feeling that with the weather that was expected for the evening, we were not going to get a lot of trick. We had about 40. Which given how really awful the weather was, because by that point it was it was raining sideways. You know, there were kids out trick or treating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on my block anyway, which was really nice.
We
So-
went out to Montclair Ave, which is the big house that has the book lady,
The book lady, the famous book
who
lady.
is
Yeah.
the head of book clubs at Scholastic, and perhaps she's got to be the most generous, nicest woman in the entire world. She gives out packets of books to kids,
Wow.
age appropriate, and she has, I'm assuming, interns or editorial assistants or some assistants come in and help, and she had tents, and we were like, this is amazing.
That's so cool.
I've never been to Montclair. Maybe
It's-
we'll go next year.
It's a little bonkers.
Yeah, it's gotten to be even like every year it gets a little crazier.
It gets a little crazier. We went
Yeah.
out early around 4 because our friends live right by her house. And so we went early and then came back right when it started raining. And then a bunch of folks went over to my house and we got pizza. And then when it stopped raining, then my husband took the big guys out and around by us. Because, full-size candy bars. That's what we did. The fall is a lot. There's a lot of stuff in the fall. Like, we go from Rhinebeck, which is clearly a holiday for us.
Oh yes.
And you. Halloween. Then we're coming up on Thanksgiving. which there's like an extra week in there this year, which is
Yeah.
kind of nice. Although I keep forgetting it, so I'm like, oh my god, it's Thanksgiving, and then I'm like, oh wait, no, I have another week.
Yeah. For those of us with kids in school, there's a school holiday like this week.
School holiday this week coming up, which Jonathan timed his business trip perfectly to miss.
What?
Aw.
It's leaving on Wednesday, coming back on Saturday. Hopefully we'll all be alive. It's not a guarantee.
Oh man.
It's going to be Playdate Central is what it's going to be. And then, especially for us, right after Thanksgiving, we have both Black Friday and Small Business Saturday.
Yep.
Yes.
So we have a bunch of stuff coming up that we're planning for Small Business Saturday, including kits and things, but you're going to hear more about that next podcast.
Yes.
But the wheels are turning.
But
We
the
have
wheels are
started
turning.
assembling things
All
and
sorts of
ideas
kits and things. So it'll be like QVC next time. We'll just put it through. You can see.
We'll get our Vanna hands out.
Yeah.
The other thing to start thinking about is that we do maintain wish lists.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Whether you want to email us with your wish list or call the store with your wish list while we're
Yeah.
open is best, because then we can go back and forth.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
We are happy to maintain them, and we ship anywhere. So, if you see
In
things
the
here-
United States.
in the United
In the
States,
United
excuse
States.
me. Yes.
So even if you're not local, if you're watching this and you want something that we've shown, shoot us a note, give us a call during our working hours, and we can ship it to you, or we can write it down, and then you can direct a loved one to say, well, the ladies at Yarnia know what I want.
Yeah.
And we will.
And we do. We have a really good track record with that for the last
Yeah.
couple of years.
There's a
A
lot
lot of people got really nice presents over the holidays.
Yeah, there are a lot of loved ones who come in and say, my wife, my husband requested this thing, or requested something,
My
and I
partner
don't know
says
what
you
it
know.
is.
My partner says you know what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or my mom
And-
says, you know what I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
So,
my dad. So definitely, hit us up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we'll do that. But in the meantime, let's do our drawings. So
All right.
the first one we're going to do
first
is...
We're gonna do
one
like a
is-
production line.
It is.
Yes.
Production line with some
So
wrestling.
these are the folks who made Soldotnas and went to Rhinebeck. So,
Yay.
and let's show what we're giving away.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
prizes
Jen.
that
Yes.
I thankfully got there early enough that could
Yes.
drop
Don't even
back
have
off
to
at my
stand in
car.
line to get the coveted Rhinebeck bag. And I have one of these from last year, and it's like my favorite bag.
People were
It's-
loving this
I
one
love
this year. It's really
fantastic. So I'm also going to
zippers
say my
Two
cousin
deep
Betsy's.
pockets in the back. Like, look.
yeah.
Look at that.
And I love the logo this year. I thought it was so adorable. The bus.
My friend Betsy's friend designed it.
Oh,
So she got
The-
her bag signed
Oh,
by her
how
friend,
fun.
friend of hers from McGill.
Oh, there's an
Oh, wow.
interior pocket in here too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can jam
It's a
a
great tip.
lot in there. And because
Yeah. A lot
I
of people
jammed,
were using them for their purchases that day.
I
Yeah.
did.
Mm-hmm.
I straight up
I
did.
use mine for everything. I mean, I put like all of the podcasting gear, plus baby stuff, plus
gosh, it's so
projects, plus my laptop.
So
in
let's see who the winner is of
Yeah.
from the folks who
there.
made
You're
Soldotnas.
pulling.
Oh, I'm
and-
pulling.
I'm shaking. You're pulling.
And I'll read. Doo-doo-doo. All right. The winner of the tote is Sue Ebert.
Yay, Sue! Congratulations!
Okay, well,
All right.
I'm gonna put it on here.
Yep.
Yes,
Put
good
it on there.
idea.
And
good
then,
idea. And
in
then
the
yes,
pocket
we
inside.
have another one for among the folks who made a Soldotna and did not go to Rhinebeck. So I am gonna
It's the same.
Yay!
dump
It's the same thing.
the same bag, and probably even more coveted because these are the folks who were not able to get to Rhinebeck in person who made Soldotnas.
So you have a little bit of Rhinebeck to take home.
Yes. All right. And
Is there
as
one more in
always,
there,
our
or is that just the folded?
that's just the thing that says what it was.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just double check.
Yep.
All right,
So,
ready?
Jen is our accounting service that's making our auditor.
not looking. All right. And Karen Burzins.
Yay,
Congratulations, Karen.
Congratulations!
You made a beautiful Soldotna. Well, they were all beautiful. They
They're
really
all
were.
gorgeous.
They're
I love the colors that everyone put together. I mean, they're just all stunning.
Ta-da!
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. So
These two.
those
That's
are
2 drawings down.
the Soldotna drawings.
On to number 3.
On to number 3. Okay, and
The
all
knitted
of
wits.
these are all of those. The knitted wit are easy to see the difference because they were the tickets from the trunk show,
This is everyone who came
Crinkle,
to the
crinkle.
trunk show. Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle.
and those who signed up in advance got an extra ticket, which is
Yeah.
something we love to do here. And that was another really awful weather day. Remember
It
that?
was.
That was
That
there.
weather
There
was
were like
bummer.
wind
It
warnings.
was bad that
It
day.
was-
It was
really
like
rainy.
multiple inches of rain in one day, and again, it held off till pretty late. But at the time the trunk show was going on,
We have
More
sirens going.
sirens. Oh, that's an ambulance this time. At the time the trunk show was going on, it was really awful out
It
there.
was.
And Laura Jean and Shannon were so impressed by how many folks came out. And because we have the best customers, you guys.
What was so funny
was,
is
you know-
they ran out to go get food, and I was like, "Do you want an umbrella?" And they're like, "We're Pacific
We're from
Northwest."
Portland. We live in
They're like,
Portland.
"This is par for our course."
Yeah.
Drizzle
All
for
right.
them, but
And the winner
awful
of
for us.
the skein is Trent. Yay!
Congratulations,
Trent.
Congratulations!
I think she was considering buying this and didn't, hoping she would win. I think I heard that.
Oh my God! Sometimes
Trent,
the
you work it
universe
out.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
just doing things for you, Trent.
All right. And then the very final drawing we have, and actually, do you want to stuff those in here?
Yeah, I'll get them.
And then we can use the, or actually, we can just draw
We'll
this
just draw
out
the
of
bag.
here.
Okay, it
We
won't
can
be
draw it out of the
fancy.
bag.
It's not out of
We
the
went from fancy to not fancy in what, like 4 drawings?
4 drawings is a lot for one show.
It is.
a lot
And
for
we
one
don't usually do it here. We
show.
usually do it during knit night, but I don't know. Knit night has not been conducive to the drawings lately for some reason. So anyway,
I'm
this
mixing
drawing,
and
we should say
looking.
what it is before
Yes,
we draw.
what is it?
So this drawing is the October bag raffle because we, like Trader Joe's, love it when our customers bring their own bag or say, you know what, I don't need a bag, I can carry it out to my car, whatever.
Save the earth.
Exactly.
the earth.
Saves the environment, all that good stuff. And what the person who wins is a $20 gift card to Yarnia
Yep, and
Yay.
we draw every month.
every single month. And I don't even know how many we've got. You know,
A
like
lot.
200 tickets in there or something this time.
It's
And
good work, everyone.
the winner is Karen Shaw.
Yay!
Or Kevin Shaw.
Kevin
Shaw.
So we will get in touch with
Kevin.
Yeah, congratulations, Kevin. I know who he is. We will get in
Excellent.
touch with him and let him know that he's won this month. Yay.
Fantastic.
All right, so
Excellent.
there we go. That is all of our raffles for this
Sorry, I gave you that
episode.
all the way.
That's okay.
I'm gonna
That's
give you
okay.
It's all puppy.
All right.
So we have, I think, covered everything around town. There's a lot. There's a lot that's going around, There's a lot that has been going around. So, but let's move on
But I'm
to
sure people want to see.
finished objects.
And actually, when I was hearing what everyone had and had done and everything, I was thinking this might be the finished the one with all the finished objects.
The
right?
One with all the finished objects.
It
There we
has.
go.
I think we have more finished objects on this episode
Well,
than we have
and thanks
before.
to y'all, because I've been not as prolific.
There have been weeks when you have been like, finished
You have
objects.
I know, I've
Boom,
finished
boom,
absurd
boom.
amounts of sweaters, and
Yeah.
I have to say, like, I have slowed down this fall. I don't know. I won't say lost my knitting mojo, but I might have found my Legend of Zelda mojo.
That's right. You
Your
did say that with your
finished
almost
objects
finished objects.
would be
I
Legend
haven't
of
even-
Zelda.
I haven't asked Gene for
Yes.
his progress. I
Yeah.
try to keep out of that.
Well,
Wait,
I'm
did
sure-
you finish? Did you finish the
No,
one?
I've almost finished those. So yeah, I've been doing that a lot
Yeah.
instead
know
of
what?
knitting.
He has too. So.
But I do have some small things. So
Why don't you start with your
yeah, and I'm sort of like into small things because I finish them quickly and they're a lot more. I don't know. I've knit how many sweaters this year? Like 8.
You
Yeah.
A
done
lot.
a ton. Sometimes you need to go from like
So-
the big thing to the little thing.
No, I'm doing small things. So yay! I finished the April hat by
It's
Courtney
so
Kelley.
pretty. I love it.
I love it. Is
Kelbourne
that
Woolens, right?
Yep, it's all
Their
Kelbourne
patterns.
Woolens. It's one
For
of their
Germantown.
patterns. Yep, and this is Germantown. The hat and the pattern was done with like that bright orange coral.
It's a pretty
for
coral.
me, it's a lavender is my.
Yeah, so pretty.
That's an Amanda color.
Yep, and I just
It's
love
really
this shape.
Oh, with the
It's
palm.
perfect.
Adorable.
So cute. Here, wait, turn to the side. Get the side profile. Adorable.
Very nice.
I love it.
I love it too. And so now I have a new hat for winter.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yay.
Very nice.
It's
Like it?
perfect. I love it. That purple is great
So.
on you.
Yeah, it's a good color.
And I love the puffy pom pom.
Oh, that's one of the Toft alpaca pom poms.
Yeah,
they're
it is.
so nice.
Love it. It's just
It's
poopy.
one of the alpaca ones.
Mhm.
And so Kelbourne Woolens is doing a hat every month this year. This is, like I said, the April hat. It's the January hat, February hat, March hat. They're very inventively named. Courtney Kelley designed this one. They've got different designers every month. I will say, like, this one, I loved it the minute it came out. And
Yeah,
I wanted
so
to knit
pretty.
it. It's really beautiful. It's got, like, I'll take a close-up picture, but it's got, like, these little floral motif. It was fiddly to knit. I wouldn't say this is, like, beginner or even advanced beginner pattern.
No.
Um,
Solid intermediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somewhere around like the third repeat of the like little tuck pattern. I was like, do I have to do this anymore?
We all hit that point in our project sometimes, right?
But
It's like,
that's the good thing about doing a small project is you're like, okay, this actually only takes me 45 minutes.
yeah, I can finish it
per
tonight.
round,
whatever,
for
I
one of
can-
the tuck rounds.
Yeah.
And I only have one more left, so get over yourself, Amanda. Right?
I mean, it's not like you're doing an entire sweater in that where you'd be like,
Right.
I'm
Yes.
a third of the way up one sleeve.
If I was doing the body of a sweater in this, I might,
It might not be a
reconsider
finished
my
object.
option.
Yeah.
But it would be beautiful.
But, this is, I'd say, one of the more advanced patterns, and they do have a lot of different options. So maybe I'll put some pictures of the other ones in here, too. There are
Good
other
idea.
sweaters of
Yeah.
the month. Sweaters.
Absolutely.
And they have a couple
Hats
that are definitely beginner friendly.
Yeah, totally.
But it's nice to have the variety.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and now we've got 11. Do we have the November out yet? I think so.
I think it is. I think I saw it.
So there's 11 hats to choose from. So if you're holiday gifting, this is perfect. Like, it actually only took me 3 nights. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, because I did the rib one
the
night.
ribbing looks like that would take an evening
took-
with
yeah,
the,
it
all the
took a little-
cross stitches and cables.
That
And
was a
all.
little.
It's
fussy
pretty.
too.
It's beautiful.
It's
It's
really
worth it.
cute.
Yeah.
And then the pattern 2, and then the decreases. The decreases went really fast, actually.
I love decreases on a hat because you're like, I'm almost done. I'm
Well,
almost done.
but it does have the tug pattern, and I thought it was going to take a long time, but it actually didn't,
Yeah.
which was delightful.
cool. And did you block that around a plate
I did
for the beret
yeah.
look?
Yeah, I took.
I like to do that with berets.
I took a plate. I first tried a dinner plate, which was a little bit too big.
Yeah.
So I took it off and put it actually around a kid's plate.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, saucer was a little bit too small, but I just found one that fit in comfortably, right, with just a
Just
little
to-
give. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's
Just
what
to
makes it
extend it
look
too.
nice and
When you block a hat like that, instead of having
Yeah.
it be like a straight sided, you can do that.
yeah, and that's
Cool.
what this is made to sort of block like.
A tam shape.
Yes.
basically.
Yeah, a tan. Yeah,
I like it though. So now I have a new hat for winter.
I love it. What else do you have? You have another one, don't you? Another
get to do
finished
both of them?
object. Yes,
do.
you have to do all of yours.
I have socks.
Yay! So
I
cute.
love them.
So these are in the Australian Shepherd colorway by Ancient Arts. This is their sock NATO, which I've used before, and I love this yarn.
Yeah. it's fun.
I started this Australian Shepherd. These socks are for my daughter Lily.
Ooh, these are nice.
So it has a little sheltie in it, I think.
Complete
Little
with your own
sheltie.
dogs.
I made these for my daughter Lily, which is probably one reason it took me 14 months to knit them. Because I wasn't as motivated as if it was my
they're
own
not for
socks.
you.
It's understandable.
But these are Kate Atherley's sort of standard basic rib socks.
Top down though, right?
Yes, top down. I think it is basic rib socks, or it's Wise Hilda's basic rib sock. But it's a super basic pattern. It's a 3x1. It's
I like that kind of rib.
3x1
Yeah.
rib, all the way down.
The very
That's
first
great.
pair of socks I ever made was like that.
Yeah. So it's a grippy. They don't slouch. It's a great.
I think I'm gonna have
Heel
to
flap
make
and
some
gusset.
socks this fall or winter.
Yeah, you have to make the socks. What cast on do you use?
Just a
regular?
long tail. Yeah.
Wow.
My long tail's not.
Your
tight.
long tail's stretchy.
Yes.
My long tail's not that stretchy.
Yeah, my long tail's not too stretchy. Well, and also it's for a teen, so it does need to be too.
They'll suck it up. I love how it's pulled, the sheltie.
Yeah,
right.
right. Well,
very
it's
fun.
Australian
cool.
Shepherd, which
Or
is this-
Australian Shepherd,
my
I'm sorry.
Lily
Similar
loves
colors,
our.
though.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's why I picked it because
Yeah.
it is similar to our
the
sheltie.
Very fun.
It looks like it. I love it.
So
great.
that's my other finished object. Yay! And now I get to knit socks for me.
Yay.
All right.
Now you're back onto your thing. Kathleen, what do you have finished object?
So I have my night shift that I'm wearing.
I love
it. I'm really happy with it. I guess I'll go ahead and take it off so we can show it. And it fits really nicely with my
Oh, yeah,
jewel.
right.
Yeah.
I
I
love
still have to
those.
get that jewel shawl.
I use it 2-3 times a week.
I
use
love
it
mine.
all the time.
Yep.
So
I need to make
I
a
have the
decision.
double wrap snap one that I love.
I
See,
I
I
think
like the carabiner closer ones.
I like them all. So I use a little bit of a different approach, and I think I'm going to talk about
Oh,
this in
it's
another
stunning.
podcast.
Look over it and ta-da!
Ta-da!
There we go. So it's not just our.
I used one color of Silk Garden for the entire background.
That's so smart. Look at
so
that.
I wanted,
beautiful.
I mean, I love all the ones that are very multi,
Look at
but I didn't
that.
think I would wear it as much, so I wanted to do something I would wear.
I love this.
And this particular colorway of Silk Garden, from the minute it showed up here, I was like, I need to do something with that.
It was
so,
calling your name.
Actually, I should go get it.
No, it's
so
252.
252.
So there's a lot of
Nora.
black. There's some gray. There's this nice acidy green
Yeah.
and teal, basically like
But
a
it's
light blue to
so
teal.
But that's the thing with Nora.
pretty.
Like, if you just look at the outside, you're like, oh, that's dark. But, like,
But yeah, it's not
look
really
at
that dark. It's not really that dark.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I used 3 solid colors of the Silk Garden Solo that coordinate, complement.
Yeah.
etc.
The dark
So I used
blue.
the blue. I
Blue.
used an olive.
Yep.
That is not exactly in there, but
Here's
it's
the
really
olive.
close. And then I
Sure.
used like this yellowy green, which is really the pop.
Yep.
So I'm really happy with it.
Stunning.
Should be. This
And
is great.
This is
You
beautiful.
like it? It's
I love
cozy,
it. I
right?
love it, and it's really cozy. Actually, I'm going to put it back on. It's a little chilly in here still.
But doesn't that
throw it over
Silk
my
Garden,
shoulders.
like, it softens up so nicely?
It really
Yeah.
does.
After you
Even
block
as you're
it?
wearing it, as
Yeah.
you're working it, it feels good in your hands. It really does.
Yeah, it really does. It's so pretty.
The other thing I just finished that I finished weaving in my ends and kitchening my underarms last night,
Look
not
at
yet blocked,
that.
Not yet.
is my
What?
Carbeth in
I love it.
Eco Plus straw, which
Straw.
This color
Again,
is
it's
so
like-
you.
I love it. Yeah, exactly. It is. I have a jacket exactly that color. That's the jacket I wore at Rhinebeck with my Hatdana when I was too chilly.
This is a great.
And you have
And I made a few mods. It's so funny. I was thinking about this, Jen, the way we say we're congenitally unable to do a pattern as written.
unable.
So I made little thumb holes. I also
I love
did the
it.
collar so that it just stands up. I didn't want to make the fold over. I thought it would be too
much.
scrunchy around my neck. Yeah, so I just made it to the length.
There's
that I
one in
wanted.
our window
This
that we're
also
kind of
feels
pointing over
fantastic.
that way.
It feels nice. It really
does.
does. And I did block my swatch. I used basically all that's left. I have a little swatch. I used every inch other than the swatch in the sweater. I thought I was going to need a third skein, and I didn't. And this
Nice.
is like size 5. I made the 5th of the sizes of the Carbeth
There's a
pullover.
lot of yardage in Eco Wool.
Yeah.
There's
It
a
was
lot
almost
of
1,000
watch.
yards, and I also made it quite a bit longer. Sorry.
But
Yeah.
for some
I
reason, I
think
thought
I
of this
made
as like
it,
a rustic yarn. But
like,
it's,
it feels
It's
really
soft.
nice.
It's really
You know,
nice.
Yeah.
the colors are definitely softer than the Eco Wool.
Yes.
The ones that are dyed are a little bit
so
softer.
the Eco Plus.
The Eco Plus is softer, yeah.
Because I did my Carbeth cardigan out of one of the undyed
Right, one of the
grays.
natural
That
ones.
is
yeah.
not. It is more rustic.
Yeah. But still not terrible.
But it's
rustic,
not.
yeah.
It definitely softened when I worked with it, and it
Mhm.
softened a lot when I
Yeah.
blocked it.
Smells
And it's
cozy.
100% wearable for me.
Yep.
Like
yeah,
if-
so.
My kids wouldn't wear it, but my kids are annoying and prickly.
Well, kids are
and-
kids. Kids can be fussy about a lot
They're
of
like,
things.
there's a tag.
So-
I'm like, yes.
So anyway,
I love it.
I love this. I can't wait to block it. And yeah, I would have blocked it last night if I couldn't show it today. So so anyway, I figured since I did 2 big things, and I've decided to have a new approach to having my like active whips.
Okay.
So my new approach is I can do one sweater. I can have one sweater, one shawl / hat / scarf.
Right.
I have a store project always, and then maybe one other little thing.
Okay.
So like 4 things.
So you're
Perfect.
going by category.
I'm going by category.
Okay.
I think for me having 2 sweaters going at once is not a good thing.
Yeah.
Because that means neither one of them is going to get done very soon. So,
I had like 5.
but you can show. so that's a good lead into what you're doing, Jen.
I have a
to your
lot of finished objects.
Yeah.
From having that. So the first one I'm
This
going
is
to talk
what
about.
happens when it's 3 weeks between our podcasts.
It's 3.
Well, and also like
I know.
when we've like not had a lot, like
Like,
we've had things
yeah,
that are
right.
almost done. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, boom, they're all done. Yeah.
And when I get my act together, it's really what it is. It's me getting my act together. So the first one is the one I'm wearing, which is the Antler
I
Pullover
love it. It's so
by Tin
great.
Can Knits, which
You
is.
should-
looks so
you put
nice
this
on you.
on Instagram.
I put it on
And I was just
Instagram,
like,
and it got so
that
many
looks
likes so
so
quickly.
good.
I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys, it's not that hard.
no.
And
But
I'm
the
like,
cables look so good
they
in this
pop
yarn.
They
beautifully.
do. They
This
really do.
is Spud and Chloe's sweater, which is 55 wool, 45 cotton, or vice versa.
Sounds right. No, I think it's more. Well
And the color is Grape Stomp, which is like a gray purple.
yeah, it's like slightly purpley gray.
So this was our
Beautiful.
sweater class for the fall, which is, we're just wrapping it up, like I think this next week. And folks were either doing the pullover, which or the cardigan, which is very similar, and it was actually the first pattern, which I had made the cardigan before for Max like a couple of years ago. But it's a bottom-up sweater, pretty straightforward, very easy to modify in terms of both length and like sleeve length. Like I did my bracelet length sleeves, which I liked, and I adjusted the neckline a little bit too, in that I didn't do the last round of neckline decreases because I don't like a crew neck. I'm like, it feels like a poncho.
No. It's a good,
like a jewel neck.
Super nice.
This is a nice
I'm petting
level.
your sweater.
I know, it's I've worn it like 4 times already. I finished it last Monday because my little one was sick, and so I was like halfway through the yoke, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna finish this
I
now.
might as well just finish this.
While you watch all the Star Wars movies and like sneeze on me. Thanks, Sally. So this was one sweater, and then I have a pile.
All the finished objects.
All the finished objects. So then I also have, right before I finished this one, I finished Nurtured.
Which we've
So
shown.
pretty.
Which we've
A couple times.
shown by Andrea Mowry, and this is a cropped-ish sweater.
Did you make it a little longer than she did?
I made it actually almost exactly the same length. Like I wanted it to hit right where the bottom of my belt to cover that first roll. So it just goes. But it's super wearable. It's super cozy. The sleeves blocked out a little bit longer than I would like, which does not surprise me because this is essentially garter stitch slip. It's garter stitch based slip stitch pattern. So garter stitch grows like it's exactly like the honey cowl. It's exactly that honey cowl pattern. Stitch patterns, not pattern. But it's also a bottom up raglan. And I alternated skeins. This I did in a Rhinebeck wool I got at Rhinebeck last year, called Cece's wool, which is she's a relatively small dyer, I believe, and farmer maybe.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
similar to this would be like
Knitted
Mrs.
wit.
Crosby.
Yeah. The heavily variegated Mrs. Crosby would be beautiful in this. In fact, there's a couple of colors over there that I was looking at. And the knitted wit would be stunning in this. There's one on the top right there. I can't remember what's the pink and the dark. So pretty.
I know, it's right on the tip of my tongue. What is that colorway?
Yeah. But I definitely recommend if you're working with the variegated, especially for this pattern, alternate skeins. Because this was in the round, I did helical knitting, which just took a little bit more paying attention, but not a ton, and there's no weird floats on the inside. So the other thing I did with this, and I did it on this sweater as well, is because I'm notorious for putting my sweaters on backwards, or as people in the store have noticed, occasionally putting my shirts on inside out. So if you see me and my shirt is on inside out,
she wants to know. Tell her. She will not be angry. She will be happy.
I will be like, I did it again, and go in the bathroom and change. But like, don't wait.
No, don't wait till the end of class.
Don't wait until the end of class to say it, Lisa.
Well, at least she did say it before.
She did tell me.
She did say it.
And she was like...
And meanwhile, I didn't even notice. I was just,
I was like, that's awesome. My shirt's on inside out, y'all. I'm going to go change.
Yeah, so tell them your trick.
So my trick is, especially on a sweater that has short rows on the back to raise the back neck, you did all of that hard work. Make sure
you want to make sure they're on the right side. You're wearing it the right way. It'll be much more comfortable if you wear it the right way.
I take a little piece of... my hair is in it. There we go. I take a little piece of contrasting yarn. I don't know if you can see.
I'll take a picture.
You'll take a picture.
It'll show it better.
And I either do like a tiny little crochet chain through a couple of stitches, enough so you don't see it on the right side, just to delineate this is the back. I don't want to sew a tag in. I don't want to buy tags. I don't love that, but like this is, you can use embroidery thread, fingering weight, anything that's just a little contrast to make sure you do this.
This is the back.
I did that this morning because the last 2 times I wore this last week, I had to turn it around halfway through. And I was like, why is it pulling?
And actually, let me show another quick little tip for something similar that
Sure.
I did with the Stoneham, which is now a store sample.
Oh,
Now
the
lives in
Stoneham
the store.
Poncho, which is so pretty.
So on this, it is supposed to have just 2 even, 2 even sides. It is a split hem. I made the back a little bit longer.
So you can
and
tell.
it was for the same reason, so that you could see which side was the back and which is the front. So
That's a good
It's just a
idea.
nice
That's a
little,
really good
and
idea.
I think I love that
It
like
hangs
little
nicely.
high-low. Yeah, it's cute. So anyway, another little trick.
So cute.
Of ways to make sure you know which is the back of your garment.
And that's what you just gotta
This
figure
one's
out.
pretty easy. I mean, because the back is so much
You can
deeper.
really see on
Oh, that's
the color
true,
work,
yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
back is so much
It
lower.
goes way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yep.
the front.
And
So,
that's it.
I always
That's
have to look
handy
at that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
Makes sense.
Marius sweater.
thing. Good job, man.
But actually, I put these short rows in. Like, this sweater is not designed with short rows. But I'm
I
like,
think a lot of the
I need that.
traditional colorwork sweaters
Yeah,
don't
they're
have
just
short rows.
Mm-hmm.
I always throw them in because
it makes a big difference.
more
it makes a
comfortable.
big difference. It fits better.
Oh,
Yeah.
much better.
And then I have a couple of things that I finished that are store samples, so you guys can come into the store and see. The first one is
This episode is going to be just like peppered with. This is the sweater. This is the sweater.
This is the sweater.
So
Sweater.
pay attention if we're going quickly. If you're listening more than watching, and you're like, what pattern was
Huh?
What are
that?
you talking about?
It's going to be. I'm going to put. Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda
all
will
the-
make it look nice.
Well, and just make sure that information is there. And if you
Yes.
miss it too, when it flashes across the screen, it's always down in our show notes, which are below this.
Yes.
Yep.
And you
On
put
the
the
screen,
there are
Ravelry
links.
links in there.
I put
as
the
well.
Ravelry links in there.
Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. So this is the Felix Cardigan. I'm going to show, here we go. And
So
it's got
pretty.
this sweet little eyelet detail. There's also a Felix Pullover. This is by Savory Knitting. Was that Amy Christoffers?
Yep.
And this is done in the Manos de Uruguay Alegria Grande.
So nice.
This is another one because I had a couple of skeins that were very contrasty light dark gray. That alternating skeins was very crucial in this. Otherwise it would have pooled really weird. So as it is, it looks just more tonal. I actually did this pattern as written.
Really?
What? As written.
How did you do that?
From the cast on to
Wow.
the bind off. I didn't adjust the sleeves.
Wow.
I mean,
Well,
she
it
did
is a-
say you could work the sleeves to 3 inches before desired length.
Uh-huh.
So maybe I did alter.
Well, and also some of the details are things that you normally throw in if a pattern doesn't have.
Yeah,
so that,
I mean-
that's like the tubular cast
The
on.
tubular
right?
cast on,
Yeah.
the
And
tubular
it's such
bind
a
off,
lovely
I'm like,
detail.
hey,
It's-
yeah,
of course. It's
I
like-
would do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But
very
this
nice.
is it's still a little bit damp because it was blocking
Did
yesterday.
you do a tubular bind off?
It said to.
Oh.
So yes, I did. But I have to pick buttons.
Yeah.
So I have
Well, you know what? We have new buttons too, though. That's some of those new buttons.
ooh, maybe the new buttons. So these are the ones that I'm
Yeah.
looking at, but I can't decide. I have a white, which I think is too white. I have a
Do you
dark
have your-
shell.
Or you have your buttonholes here. Right?
I have the buttonholes. I
That
even
actually
did the
would be pretty.
buttonholes as
The
written,
Plain mother of pearl. Wow.
which I never do. I did not swap in my
the
standard
buttonholes?
favorite buttonhole, which is Ysolda's.
Are the
I did, however, put the
Yeah,
buttonholes on the
so.
wrong side.
Right there.
So, yeah, I don't ever remember, and I just did the first one. Will it fit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
I do like it.
That is
I think
pretty.
you can't go wrong with mother of pearl.
I know. I feel like
That
the
was
mother
too
of pearl.
big.
This one is too big, and then I do like these wood ones,
The Katrinkles.
the Katrinkles.
Yeah.
I like the Katrinkles ones.
That one's going to be big too.
That one's going to be big. Although those buttonholes might stretch.
Mm.
So I really love working with the Alegria Grande. It makes a beautiful sweater. I think the
Yeah.
Felix sweater, as written, is using like a fuzzier yarn at a bigger gauge, but I think the Alegria Grande worked perfectly for that. What you could also do, what would be really gorgeous, is either a sport or a fingering plus a mohair, like the knitted wit fairy floss or the sugar bush drizzle would be
Oh,
beautiful,
yeah.
halo-y, and it might be a
That would be
DK
cozy,
plus
too.
a mohair. You'd have to swatch and see which one would work. But that would be beautiful, and I loved the pattern was very straightforward.
Yeah.
I
Really.
like these Katrinkles buttons because, I mean, they look like light bamboo here,
Yeah,
right? But they're made to be embroidered. So after you embroider them,
you could do a color
it's
accent.
any color. Or you
Pop
could
color.
make it this color so that
Yeah.
they sort of,
So they
fade in.
blend.
In more.
Yeah.
So, and I did these buttonholes. I did as yarn over slip knits, which is what she does in the pattern. And I have my hair knit into it. There we go. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's gone. But I also like the Ysolda Teague's one row buttonhole. She has a really great tutorial for that. That would be. But I was like, you know what? I'm so close to doing the pattern 100% as written. I might as well
do it to see if I can. Right?
It was really hard.
You'd be like, hey, I tested your pattern a year and a half late.
It was really hard to do that. So that's shop sample 1, which as soon as the buttons go on, it'll be in. Shop sample 2 is...
Love this. So fun.
This
is going to be the gift of 2019.
So
it will be the gift of 2019.
This took...
And this is why.
Yeah.
2 hours?
Yeah, it's
maybe.
so fun.
Exactly.
So fun.
Not even.
Yeah.
Not even. And I'm going to do what I did in the store the other day because I find it hilarious. This is a faux fur cowl made with either KFI for real, fur real, which you'll see a little bit later, or Alta's ethical fur. It's 140 yards of that yarn, so it's either 2 skeins of the fur reel or 4 skeins of the ethical fur.
2 hours.
2 hours. It's 36 stitches. The details are in our project notes, which I put the project into our Ravelry, so Amanda can do it. It's basically, I did a provisional cast on. I cast on 36 stitches, and I knit and garter stitch until I was almost out of yarn, and then I Kitchenered the 2 live stitches together. The 2 ends of live stitches. And look, it's like a Russian princess hat.
Look how cute!
I was like, now I want to make a Russian princess hat. I was like, hello!
That's so fun.
Oh my
That's
god,
great.
I'm ridiculous. So I made this one for the store, which you have to,
come in and try it on.
Come in and try it on. This is a perfect gift. If you have like a babysitter or a teacher, 2 hours yourself, because after I did that, I
Teacher gift. Maybe this could be my teacher gift.
That could be your teacher gift.
Yeah.
2 hours. 2 hours. And I mean,
it.
you can't see your stitches. So like, if you screw up, who cares?
So long as it doesn't unravel.
As long as you didn't drop a stitch, you're fine. And even if you did, you probably wouldn't be able to tell.
That's really cozy.
Isn't it? And drapes, like it's just slinky
Yeah. Got a nice drape to it.
and easy, and it's warm. And it's polyester, so it's cruelty free.
Yes.
You guys may have already seen this. I think we posted it on Instagram. This is the Rise and Shine hat by Sarah Chapman in Manos de Uruguay Franca. That also took about an hour and a half. And I have a Toft Palm on the top. And then...
That's one of the regular faux palms.
That goes... that's a regular faux palm. Sorry.
Because the top don't come in
The
pink.
top don't come in pink.
Or-
and I wanted the pink.
Not that color.
We had one pink.
And then...
I bought it for Haley's hat.
There's my cowl.
That matches.
It matches. It's a set.
I love it. And it's like, positive, negative kind of, too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 2 skeins of Franca.
Mm-hmm.
And you use one color as the main here and one color as the main here. And you have enough. I did have enough to do a Franca pom-pom, but the pink was so cute.
Yeah, I like the pink.
And it's a free pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
It's a free pattern. And it worked up. I did this one Sunday when I was shuttling to swim and tennis, and then tennis again for various children.
Ta-da.
The cowl was like 45 minutes. It was no time. It was no time at all.
You are fast, but still, it would be fast for anybody.
But it's on like size 13 needles.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a slip stitch pattern.
And the fun
it's
thing with
20
that too,
rows.
you could either gift those together to one person or make it gifts for 2 different
Separate.
people. You totally
Yeah,
could.
you
No,
could totally
no one
separate.
has to know that.
No one has to know it's a set.
That's right.
Except for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, did I get them all? I think I got them
everything?
all. Yeah.
Woo.
Woo.
All right. So that's all the finished objects. This
tired.
is the one with all the finished objects.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is the one with.
And then on the needles. Should
On
I
the
go
needles.
down here?
Go
Should
for
we
it.
start at this end again? All right. So on the needles, I have another stocking because Christmas stockings are fun.
It's that
Celebrate
time of year,
Christmas.
man.
It's a good thing. So
Is
this
this the
one
same
is
pattern,
this is
or-
a different
Oh,
pattern.
it's got a sled
So it's got a
on it.
sled. I've got a
Oh, wait, that's
duplicate
this way,
stitch.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Duplicate stitch some presents in there, and now I'm doing the reindeer.
Yeah.
And then I will
I
go
like this
into
one.
the heel. It's fun. It is fun. I'm glad. I like not doing the same one again and again. I think that's a good idea.
Well, and then everyone
me.
knows who
Who's
gets
who's.
what stocking.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
then,
That's so cute.
last night I rewarded myself because I did, I considered my two objects, my Nightshift and my Carbeth, completely finished yesterday. I was able to cast on 2 new things. So, I'm trying to pace myself.
I have a long way to go for
I
that.
am. I started a Hatdana. Which I
love
love.
the Hatdana.
I wanted to do it before Rhinebeck. I wanted to go to the meetup. I just had so many things I was trying to finish before Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
So I did not
Look at
do that.
that.
But
Oh,
it's so fun. And this is in, I did it in Maxima, which another Mano Still Uruguay yarn. That, since we got this in, I was like, all right, I need to find something to do with this because this is totally my
It's
color.
also your color.
It's so my color that
Maybe
that
I'll wear my
bronzy.
Mana sweater next time because it's
Yeah,
it's a
your
shop
Stormtrooper.
sample that
Yeah,
we've
mhm.
never.
Yeah, it's true.
Storm Tracker.
Oh,
It's not
I'm thinking
Stormtrooper.
Star Wars. No, not. Okay, that makes more sense. So
You're close.
I did. I had to make a little. I read a lot of people's projects notes, and it calls for a pretty small needle for worsted yarn,
I heard that, yeah.
but I don't know. It didn't look right when I knit. This is pretty puffy. This is a worsted, but it's a heavier side worsted.
Yeah.
And I did a couple of things. I'm going to play with it and just knit to the size that I need rather than worry about the exact sizing within the pattern.
Yeah.
And also, I did a true 4-stitch cable. It's actually a 3-stitch cable in the pattern.
Oh,
like a
interesting.
braid sort of?
Yeah, it's like a faux cable, sort of.
Oh,
It
neat.
is truly a cable because you're pulling that one stitch across. But with this yarn, it's a single, and it's just with the gauge I'm using and everything, it wasn't really working as a cable. So
Yeah.
I restarted it like 3 times. The 3rd time was a charm.
But it's so pretty.
And I'm listening to this audiobook right now, Anne Patchett, The Dutch House. I
Oh.
almost stayed up all night last night finishing this and listening to the book because it's very engaging. Tom Hanks is the reader.
He's a good reader.
Yeah, he really is. It is funny. He kind of bothered me when he was the kid, but now that the main character is an adult, he is so perfect.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. So yeah, so that is one, and that I will.
And that's
finish
a
in
one
day or two.
skein
This is
worsted
one, and you know,
pattern.
I'm like well into this. I think I may be able to get two hats out of this too. We'll
Maybe.
see.
Wow.
It seems like it.
Or maybe
I
you
don't
can
know.
make mitts.
Yeah. Oh, little mitts.
With the
I love the
cable and, like,
matching
the little-
mitts. All right, there we go. That's
There
what I'm
you
gonna
go.
do. And I also did swatch for my next sweater, which I've been wanting to do the Staring at Stars.
Yes.
Which is an Alicia Plummer design. We have a bunch of people doing the campsite cardi. That was
Yep.
a sweater Jen had done in a class, and there were a lot of folks who were doing it in our intermediate class. But we've got a couple of people doing this. It's really
Yeah.
similar. And
That color is beautiful.
I love this color.
What color
Yep.
is this?
This is called Rocinante. So it's Mantosh DK.
Pretty.
And it's a simple open front cardigan with just an eyelet pattern at the bottom.
Yeah.
And so
So pretty.
I was helping somebody during intermediate class who was working on it the other day, and I'm like, yeah, that is going to be my next sweater.
Yeah, you're like, this is so pretty.
It's pretty. It's pretty straightforward. And
Talk a little bit about your swatch
Yeah.
and how you swatch.
Sure.
Because that's an interesting.
so when I swatch, I usually try to make it a bit bigger than, wider than 4 inches. I start with a little bit of garter just so that it's, whatever. It just gives a little
curl
bit
like
it
Yeah.
gives a little bit of give to it as well. And then I tend to do eyelets to show what size needle I'm testing.
I love that. I do
And
that too.
and I think I learned that from you, Jen. I think you were the one who first told me that.
'Cause I can't
and
remember.
I have
What size
completely
are you?
adopted. I was working on 3s, 4s, and 5s.
you were working on. I was like, "There's no way
Yeah.
that's a 3."
Yep. And do you know what? I
That's
don't know.
hilarious.
I really am. I'm the loosest knitter.
Okay.
I tension
For
my...
me, there's no way that's a 3.
I would totally
I-
be like, no, 3 sounds right.
I knit this DK on a 4.
I totally... I really was very conscious about tensioning my yarn. I don't know. There's just...
You
no
just-
matter how much I tension
No.
it, it's just... So
Do your
I think
thing,
I'm going
yeah.
to do it on a 3. I mean, I still
Do
have
it
to
on a
block
3.
it. The other little trick that I
Somebody
do is...
told me when they came in, they're like, "Oh, but I have to do so many more stitches," and I'm like,
No, you don't.
"No, you don't.
No,
It's
you don't.
exactly the same number of
It's the
stitches.
same number.
If
Yeah.
you're doing the
Just on a small
same
needle.
gauge,
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly the same number
I know.
of stitches.
I've explained that to people too. Yeah, I think it's sort of a
It's
common
sort of like a-
misconception.
It's a
People
psychological
don't-
thing.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't do a sweater on 2s. I'm like, if it's my 2 is the same as her 7,
And that was kind of what Beth and I had. Remember on the Comfort Fade
Oh,
party?
I love that. I love that.
You're doing exactly the same number of stitches.
Yeah.
If you end up with the
You're
same
just using a
fabric,
different size needle to get to that.
Yeah.
So what happened was when we were doing the knit along for the Comfort Fade cardigan, Beth did her swatch on like 8s. Okay, so what she's talking about is the Comfort Fade cardigan knit along where Beth swatched on a 7 or an 8.
I think it was a 7. Yeah.
It was a 7, right? With DK weight. And Kathleen swatched on
I have like 3s and 4s.
3s and 4s, and they had the exact same gauge.
Identical gauge. Yeah.
And they were both just, because Beth is a tight knitter, and you're a loose knitter, and I'm also a loose knitter. But we were sitting there be like, these swatches are why gauge matters.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because if you had picked
the
like
5 cents.
Oh, if I'd
That's
done,
what it said.
Yeah, what it said, it would have been way too big. So.
I think I used 5s and 6. Beth used 7s and 8s. You used 3s and 4s.
I think I used 5s and 4s. Maybe I went down to 3 for everything? No, I may have gone down to 3 for the thing. So you're going to end up doing what on that one?
So I'm probably going to go with the 3s. I mean, I need to wash it. But the funny thing is, and I don't know if you ever find this, when I measure them, I actually have almost the same number of stitches. It's like barely different between the 5s, 4s, and 3s, which also, it's like 1/4 millimeter difference in size of the needle. So it's not, it's not like the difference between a 9 and a 10.
Right.
Where it's like a full millimeter.
Or 10 and 11, which is like crazy.
That's a big jump.
Yeah,
10 and 11
or
is
11
a big
to
jump.
13, anything like that. But I've just got to measure it and see what my gauge is before blocking, see what my gauge is after blocking.
Yeah.
And I think if it goes the way it's looking, I will probably go with the 3s. I like the fabric.
I like the fabric, yeah.
Yeah, I like the fabric. I mean, though on the 4s it doesn't look too loose. We'll see what it's like after it's blocked, because also if I like the fabric after it's blocked with the 4s, what I would do is knit a smaller size. And I do that a lot. And in that case, actually, you do less stitches.
Yes, you do.
You do less stitches.
And the only thing you need to
stitches,
check with
so-
that is to see if, especially for like a top-down raglan, which Staring at Stars is a top-down raglan.
Right, so whether the armholes are going to be too long.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the only thing.
That's the thing to worry about. So, so we'll see. We'll see. The other little detail about the swatch, though, I love to do the little garter ridge between the sections, because that really makes it very clear about where you stopped one and started another.
Then you can
needle
see,
size.
you can really, truly
you
see
really
what's
see
going
it.
on.
And, technically each section should be longer, but I've knit with this yarn before. Though it is funny, sometimes your gauge can change a bit over time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It
That's
definitely
true.
can.
If any of us remember the misadventures of one of my sweaters, right, where I changed gauge in the middle because I set it down and then picked it up again.
Yeah.
Gauge
That's right.
changed.
Yeah.
But that was when I realized I usually wrap twice around my arm, but I had sort of switched and only wrapped once, and it
And that makes
loosened my
enough
gauge
of a
up.
difference.
Yeah.
Makes enough of a difference.
That was,
And sometimes gauge changes whether you're working in the round or if you're
totally.
working back and forth. Mine tends not to, but there's some folks, if you know that your gauge changes when you're working back and forth, sometimes you get what on the purl row, your purls are looser.
Right, exactly. I think
And
that's
so-
pretty common.
And it's rowing out where it basically
where they
looks
get a little longer, sort of, those rows. You can, and actually that happens to me when I work with cotton, when I'm working cotton back and forth, which,
it's really
any
easy to do with
baby
cotton.
cardigan or something like that. Yeah, you can see. I even have pictures on Ravelry where the designers say, "Can I use your picture?" I'm like, but it's rowing out.
I know, you can't tell, but I know.
I know.
I mean, that's one of the reasons you can always use interchangeables, because if you're working back and forth,
True.
You can
You work
have
the
one
smaller
size on the row that's too big.
I
and
have to
then
really care a lot to do.
You have to care a lot, and then maybe mark them with
change.
washi tape so you remember
to
when you
change my
pick it
needle
up.
at the end of every right
Depends
and
on
wrong side row.
how much you're rowing out and whether you care.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I have one more
what else?
work in progress, and that is my star project, which I
guys are
love.
prolific.
And I love. I've been very like. It's fall. It's like
Now's
prime
the time.
knitting season. Prime knitting season.
Yeah,
So
I don't
trying
know.
to take advantage.
All of September, I think I traveled to 3. I was in Atlanta, and then Tampa, and then Las Vegas, and all of that in September. And then I traveled to Toronto in November, or in October. And I'm just like,
But how many
Done.
sweaters did you finish this year? You said
Like
it
8.
earlier. Like
Yeah,
8.
a lot.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
a lot.
and
And
I have
just
not finished 8 sweaters.
sort of overwhelmed with my boring work. And
It's supposed to be our fun work.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to see your
so this is Noro Bachi.
Oh, this is the
Bachi, which actually it really is it's my store project that I work on when I'm here and I have time to knit, but I brought it home to work on it because I wanted to see how far I'd get with one ball.
Yeah.
So let's hold it up.
Nice.
So this is
Look
just
at
a
this.
really simple rectangular wrap that I'm doing, and I do think we'll be able to do it out of 2 balls because this I'm barely past. I broke the yarn a couple of times where there was a bad knot, but I don't know. Somewhere in here is where I joined in the second ball. Not too far, not too far from where I am now.
I love this little section right here. This is my favorite.
so nice.
So
Ooh, this would be
really
cozy.
Yeah.
Warm.
And so simple. And I wrote it up before I started, so I'm like testing my pattern as I go, and then I'll have somebody else test it too.
Fantastic.
But it's so simple. It's like a corner to corner baby blanket, just to about 14, 15 inches wide. And just when I saw this yarn, I said, this just needs to be, you need something where you're just really going to see the beauty of those color changes.
Yeah, you're just going to see,
And
you're
I
going to
think that
highlight
this
the
does it.
colors.
Look how many colors there are.
Yeah,
The skein
yeah.
of this.
Gorgeous.
And of course, it's got some of that gold in it.
Yeah.
And some teal
And
and
the
some gray.
teal.
And the thing that's different for
This
me
is
is the
there.
pops of pink, but I like it.
I
It's
love
fun.
the pops of
I do.
pink. I
I
think
like
it's
them a lot, and it's like not something I
really
would
just stunning.
It's
do,
like to
but
see,
the fact
like,
that it's with all
Where
my
a
other
repeat
colors.
is this a repeat
Well,
from like here to here?
I don't
It's-
know
it's
that
got-
Noro repeats officially, does it?
It sort of does, yeah.
Yeah,
It's really,
here,
really long repeats. I could
here.
see them as I was working them.
Here.
Oh no, I
Here's some pink. Here's some pink.
Yeah.
yeah. You're right.
And there were some breaks. So, but
Right,
yeah, we
yeah.
definitely, the colors are repeating,
This
whether
is
they're
a cool
repeating
color,
exactly
too.
in the same order.
Oh, I like
Look at
that
that.
color, that like minty
Yeah.
yellowy.
Mm-hmm.
But with
Yeah.
a little baby blue. That's
Yeah,
super cool.
this is
I
just
like
a
that.
beautiful. This is
So-
a beautiful color. So you
so
can do this
I-
in anything, right? Like in any colorway of Noro.
Oh yeah,
Of the
definitely.
Bachi?
Of
definitely.
the bachi.
Yeah.
Yep.
'cause-
Oh
you
yeah,
got
I
some other
brought a
colors
couple
for
of
Bachi?
other ones, which this is a pretty
Ooh,
similar
that'll be
one.
Fun.
So
Under a
fun.
black coat, can you imagine?
Yeah, that one's all color.
That'd
That
be
one
so
doesn't have
fun.
grays the way mine has kind of grays in it. And then this is more in the blue
Oh, I
family.
love
Yeah.
the blues.
Yeah, we've
You
got 6 or 7 different colorways of this, I think.
Yeah.
So
This would be a perfect work shawl, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Office
blanket you
blanket
need,
kind
the
of thing.
office blanket,
Yep.
when your office is freezing.
I bet this didn't take you that long.
And you can
Oh,
just
no,
leave
it's
it
been
in your
going really quickly,
office
yeah.
or on your chair and like wrap it around everything, because with all of these colors, like it'll
it
go
would
with
work with
everything.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So this is like the gift for somebody you like. This could be a great gift for somebody that you like a little more,
Yeah.
That's super special.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take. You could easily start now and finish.
And you know what?
Oh,
It's
for
like
the
perfect
whole-
like TV knitting, because really only at the ends of the rows are you paying any attention.
Or knit night knitting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Because
it.
you wanna be
anytime
talking.
you're gathered with somebody, or holiday party knitting, when
Yeah.
you're like, I would like to be social, but not that social.
Right.
I want people
We all
to
know
come
how
to
that
me and say, what are you
Oh, for
working
sure.
on? And I say,
thanks.
I'm working on this beautiful Nora wrap. Can you get me a drink?
Right.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that's nice when you just sit still and everybody comes to you.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Then you're still like social and you're hanging out and you're having
Yep,
fun, but
yep.
you're getting your stuff done.
Yep.
But then people start asking you for it.
Yeah.
Be like,
This
is that for me? And I'd be like,
Oh.
I only have one drink in my hand. Where's
I
my
must have
snacks?
such a reputation
Right.
as a selfish knitter. I don't get too many people asking me for things. I am definitely a selfish knitter. I know, I appreciate it. So,
What else
All
do you
right.
have, Amanda?
yeah, whatever.
Oh well, so first, this
Working
is
for
my
this.
my year long. This is the year long blanket knit along that
It
we're working
matches
on.
your sweater.
It does.
Oh yeah.
This would actually make a really nice sweater.
It would make a really nice sweater. That's Germantown again, right?
This is Germantown. Yep. And this is the Martin Story mystery knit along, Shetland wool mystery knit along or whatever
From 2014.
from 2014. Yeah. But we're doing it in 2019.
So it's not a mystery.
It's not a mystery
We're
at
not
all.
reading mystery.
No.
That's my kind of mystery knit along, where you already know the answer.
Yes.
So you can make changes when you want to.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
So this was last month's square. I
That's
did
pretty. I like
really
that.
I did
pretty.
3 of 6 last month's square. I still
I
have
like
3
that.
more to do.
Hold it up for you.
I'll take pictures.
Amanda will take pictures.
Those aren't blocked yet. But last
So
month
nice.
we
I like that. It's a nice
learned,
design.
yeah, and it was just to learn how to cable for the first time. So there's these little twisted stitches, just one by one,
Mm-hmm.
cables to make
That's
these
fun.
little diamond patterns. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times through the whole square, right? Like not too much.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's a perfect, even if you don't want to make the blanket, if you want to practice cables or practice the technique, like taking out the squares of this blanket and just using it to learn is excellent. And that's sort of what we've been doing too. I mean, the point is not only do you get a blanket, but you practice skills too. So this month, which we were scheduled to be on November 10th, but I think we're going to do it November 17th for a couple of reasons. First of all, Jen's makeup sweater class is on the 10th already, and I'm working on the 10th, and it's hard when I'm working to also be doing the knit along, because if we run over into working
Store
hours,
opening
then
time,
I
yeah.
can't help folks. And I definitely want enough time to talk to folks this time, because we're doing the next square, which I don't have an example of right now, but it's a bigger, true traditional like 2x2 cable.
That's great because you've already done a little one.
practice
kind
this.
of got
Yeah.
the
You can go
technique of
your
how
next
you
step
move
up.
the stitch over
Yep.
and work front or back.
Yeah, and this is a 2x2 cable.
This is, yes, it's a 2x2 cable, and it's actually a very intuitive one because it's the cross is every other row.
Yeah,
So you just put 'em.
yeah. I made this hat. I made the antler hat once, but
Me too. I love that.
pretty much if you can do the next square of this, you could do that, or you could do the antler hat, or so you're pretty competent with cables by the time you finish these 2 squares. But yeah, so that's going to be on Sunday the 17th from 11 to 12 is our, and not only are we doing that, because I had feedback from several of our knit-alongers that they want, those folks that want to finish up before the end of the year. So we're also going to go over, in addition to the next level of cables, we're also going over how to piece squares together.
Oh, that's a good one.
So you can start, so I'm going to give you a couple of options for that.
That'll
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
Piecing is kind of fun because then you take all your bits and then you're like, now I have a big thing.
Yeah, it's nice, and you get to play with like layouts and things like that.
Yes.
No, I like it.
That's so fun.
So we're gonna. That's what we're doing on the 17th.
17th.
And I'm gonna put it in our Ravelry group.
Put it down below
Put
too.
it below. I'll put it on Instagram. I'll email my people so everybody knows and nobody's like here on the 10th.
Yeah.
And instead they get an antler class.
And you can be like, you can get the end of the antler class. We'll be making up stitches
Yeah,
and
exactly.
doing buttonholes.
Yeah. One really quick. The last thing that I have is I started a new sock. I finished a sock, so I started a sock.
Oh yeah.
This is yarn that Kathleen got for me at India Untangled, since I didn't go. But it's self-striping
So pretty.
sock yarn.
Love those. You know what it reminds me of? Oh, this may be related to the name. It looks like eggs when
Right.
people have chickens. Doesn't it? It looks like the Martha
yes.
Stewart eggs,
Wait,
basically.
what's the name
What
of the
is
yarn?
the name of it?
I forget.
It
I don't have
might
the.
be. It
I
might
don't have
be
the ball
related
band.
to that. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I had a
It
ball
totally
band,
looks
but I don't
like-
have it in
I
here.
wonder what it's. Yeah, but that's what it's like. It's
This
like
that
those
green and that blue.
Yeah, so
This
pretty.
is mustache yarn,
like
which
that
is
yarn.
sort of a hard. I've never had a skein. I've liked their self-striping, self-striping yarn for a long time. And that's what I told Kathleen. That's the one thing I want. I don't really want anything else at all from any Untangled or Rhinebeck because I shop for yarn every day, and I stock what I love here. So, but this self-striping is really. I love the way the color she chooses. It's really nice.
Yeah, so pretty.
But I was like, okay, so now I have self-striping. I want to do a sock that shows off the stripes, but still is a little bit interesting. So I'm knitting Chanel Wu's If Then socks,
Oh, I love those.
which are really perfect for
Yeah.
if you have a special skein of self-striping yarn. This is a great pattern. It's simple, and it just gives a little bit of interest. And basically, if there's a color change, then you do a couple rows of patterning. Otherwise, you just knit stockinette.
so clever.
So clever.
So clever.
So I'm almost to the heel turn on this one, and then Ta-da! Now these are for me, and we'll probably finish them in like 3 weeks. Maybe not.
Because they're for you.
Maybe a month and a half.
I
But
totally get that.
anyway, yeah.
That makes sense.
Ta-da! So that's my
Nice.
little quick.
What is on your needles?
What is on my needles is the same thing I'm wearing. So this was a store sample,
And she liked it so much.
and I like it so much that I'm wearing it. And then I realized, like, maybe not in the black, but maybe in the gray.
I like that.
I like the gray. I love the gray.
So this is, I'm halfway through. It's the exact same thing. I did a provisional cast on. I left a really long tail so I could Kitchener.
Oh, so you don't have to worry about running. You can really knit
I
to
can
the end.
really knit 100%
That's
to
such
the
a
end.
good idea.
I did not do that with this one. I knit almost to the end. And then, yeah, I used the provisional cast on, and this is, I started it last night,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're
Um,
like almost done.
and I'm over halfway through. I'm on my second skein of the For Real, which I didn't realize, but the names are hilarious. This one is Jersey Woolly. And I was like,
I was
yeah,
trying to
it is.
figure out some of them. Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
Jersey Woolly.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm born and raised in New Jersey. You can't take me.
We are
anywhere.
transplants.
I know. Y'all don't listen.
We don't get it.
But it's so fun to work with. And sorry, my needles are flipping around and making, I'm sure, a loud noise for Amanda. It's just, again, it's like mindless TV knitting. I'll be done today. Assuming the hardest thing about this is keeping my cat Leo from attacking it. He was pretty cool about the black
Well,
one.
that looks more like him. That actually looks like it's a relative, right?
He thinks this is either another cat or a
think
squirrel because he's just like the entire time.
Ready to
And I was
bounce.
like, oh my
Ready
god,
to bounce.
get off my lap. I'm like, you are soft and fuzzy. You are so snuggly. I'm like, no, you're using me as like a platform to jump on my knitting. Get
Yeah.
off, cat. Good thing he's cute. So this is, I started this basically because I was like, okay, I finished all of this other stuff. What am I doing next? I'm a little,
oh my goodness.
I'm a little adrift. I do have some knitted wits of the Targi Bulky
Plan your
that,
holidays, man.
yeah, but like, they get things like this. My mom's allergic to, actually she might get this, so we'll see if she's made it this far into the podcast. She can keep a secret, from herself. But yeah, so I was trying to figure out what my next thing is going to be, and I think it might be an Ursa sweater out of the Targi Bulky
Oh,
from
nice.
Knitted Wit.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of folks
Yeah.
bought
People
some.
want to do it as a knit along.
I know, so
definitely
maybe we
need
should
to
do that as
figure
a
out-
knit along.
You want to do it like December, or is that too soon? Or
No, I feel
people
like
might
we
be
could-
doing holiday.
Jen's
knitting
like,
too,
I want to
though.
do it now.
I wanna
'cause
do it
I need
now.
The cast
I
on
know.
now.
wanna do
I
it
already just
now.
started a sweater though, or I'm about to start a sweater. Well, I guess if I don't,
There's your problem with the category knitting.
I know, but I think it is helpful. I really do. I feel like for me, it's
No,
just,
I think
you
it's.
know.
I'm just chaotic. And then
yeah,
the other thing that we
very-
were talking about, actually, in the Antler sweater class, is what our next sweater class should be. Which our sweater class is usually we do like one every 3 months or so, or every 4 months or so.
about a quarter.
So the winter sweater class, the one that will start in like January or February, what should that be? And I don't know.
We could put a poll on Facebook.
I know, but then we'd have to come up with ideas for it. Or are you saying like
You could
just a
do-
free?
You could
like,
do a. You
what
could
should
do
we
two
do?
posts. One.
Yeah,
What should we do just for
And then-
ideas, and then
If
a vote
anyone has-
after we have ideas.
Yeah. If anyone has any ideas,
comment here.
Comment here, or maybe we'll put a poll up on Facebook. If we do, Amanda will throw in something, and I'm thinking it should be something DK or worsted.
Yeah.
That seems to be the best bet.
Yep.
Fingering is a bit much
Well,
for.
I think we have plans for a fingering weight sweater.
We
knit
do have
along.
plans for fingering. Knit along or class?
Class, maybe. You're right.
No, I
Well,
think it should be class.
It's a class, yes.
Which
You're
one?
It
right.
should be class.
Which one?
We'll find out. We haven't officially decided, but we will. So that's all I got on the
It's
needles.
knit along for me because I'm not teaching the class.
I know. Amanda. You're gonna audit the class.
I don't need to audit the class.
Yeah, you
but,
don't need to audit the
um,
class.
But it's fun to knit along.
yeah.
It's fun to knit along.
Yeah.
Sometimes classes turn into knit alongs, like after
Yeah,
the fact.
exactly.
Oh, totally. That's
Right?
how I
And
got
that's
a.
totally cool.
That's how I got a campsite cardi.
Yeah, but it really, I mean, and I think the difference between a knit along and a class is really the level of support that you need.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Yeah.
a class is really gonna we're gonna hold your hand through it.
Step by step.
Yeah,
like
walk you
step
through
by
it.
step.
This will be a
and, like,
class. You're right.
Yeah, and a knit along is more like, okay, you can do this.
But a
and,
fingering
like,
weight sweater, it might be a 5-month class.
That's the thing. I figured out sweater was going to be a while.
Yeah.
But that could be fun.
That's okay.
So let's talk about what we have new in store.
Yay.
Well, how about we do this one real
Yeah,
quick?
because we'll just show some of the colors we have.
So we have some of the colors we
'Cause
have of
we talked
for
about
real.
gray and black, which
Gray
are
and black.
real
Blue
colors that animals come
Badriar,
in.
which is very British. I guess these are British
Badriar.
jersey and not like Jersey
Oh, that
jersey.
makes more sense. Yeah.
Because Badriar is a British term.
Yeah.
For a parakeet, right?
For a budgie.
Budgie.
A budgie.
Yep.
I can't do an accent well.
Mhm.
So Jersey Woolly is the gray.
That's mink, which is kind of funny because
Mink, but it's burgundy.
it's burgundy, exactly.
But it's so squishy.
Is that called mink?
It's called mink.
Oh.
It is. I know because I pulled some for the customer who
Right,
called
right,
to request the
Are they
burgundy yarn.
birds?
Well, mink isn't.
Mink is a mink, but that's not even
Violet
really
ringneck.
That's definitely a bird.
Is there a mink bird?
No.
Tundra wolf. Okay, no, it's not.
No.
So it's animals.
It's random
animals.
Mainly birds, but random animals.
Pine martin.
That's
That
definitely
sounds like
a
a
bird.
bird.
That's
Yeah.
a bird.
It's definitely a bird, and I believe
I like this color. This is.
Yeah.
Is anyone shocked I like this color?
No, that is 100. I would have said one of these two for Amanda.
Yeah.
So the free
And I like the gray and white. Of
is
course.
$10 a skein, I believe.
Tundra wolf. Yes,
That is
they are
a-
10.
$10 a skein. Two of them.
For 71 yards, but it
Makes
is
this
super
baby.
bulky. Yep.
Oh,
You could
nice.
do a hat. I
Oh,
did.
There's a really cute, like, one of those
Like a
Explorer
little
type hats.
Explorer
on this,
hats, like
Oh,
ear flap
yeah.
hats. That would be
That would be
super
cute.
cute.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expect to see
find
your
these
stitches.
patterns at Knitting Fever. Yeah,
Yeah.
do not see your. you
Don't
won't-
expect
you
to
will
see
not
your stitches, but that's okay.
I think most knitting fever patterns are on Ravelry too, so we should
Yeah.
look that up. By
Yeah.
the time you get in the store, we'll know what we're talking about these patterns that are on the that are really cute and on the ball band.
But this one is on our projects.
Yes.
So,
And actually, what I should do is print a few of those out, so that
Yeah.
when people buy the yarn, I'll give them your project notes. That's
Yeah.
I actually rewrote it for somebody off the tag the other day because she
Okay.
was like, "I need to do this right now."
I know.
So, yeah, it makes sense.
if you're not
project notes.
comfortable Kitchenering, you can do a 3-needle bind off, or you could just cast
You
on
could just-
normally and bind off normally, and then
and
sew it
them.
together.
You really,
Yeah.
I think it's really. The yarn is so fluffy, you're not really going to see it if you sew it.
It's so
fine.
fluffy.
That's so fluffy.
They need a
My
unicorn
unicorn.
Right?
Clearly,
Oh,
you
my
can tell we
goodness.
have kids.
That
We
would
have
be
kids.
super
Yeah.
fun.
like
It's
little
not that
kids
bad. Oh,
who are watching.
I love it so fluffy. Too.
It's so fluffy.
That was me actually. I was that kid. So, all right. So the other fun store, or really teaser for what is coming.
Yes.
I suppose,
So this is my baby. I've been working on it since like last
year.
winter. Yeah. So every time we've had can you hear me those?
Yeah.
Every time we've had a trunk show, starting with Rhythm Knits back in March,
Mhm.
I've pulled some yarn for a special knit-along. We're going to, well, is it a knit-along? Yeah,
It's a knit-along. It's a knit-along.
That we're going to have in December. And all the holidays, I saw the calendar, like all the holidays are right next to each other.
Mhm.
So if you look, like there's Hanukkah, Christmas Eve, Christmas, and Kwanzaa all in a row.
Mhm.
Boom.
Mhm.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But we're doing a 12-day sort of gift along, like a 12-day of whatever holiday you're celebrating.
12-day of
Christmas,
winter
Hanukkah.
solstice.
Yes. Oh, that's a
Winter.
good one.
12 days of winter.
Starts on 12 days of winter.
And
Starts
you
on the
wanna start
21st.
on the 20th, right?
Yeah,
Writing it
20th,
down because
21st.
we'll forget this.
That's so good. Yeah, okay, 12 days of winter. Excellent. But, so I love, and I have done before, a couple of Advent, because I celebrate Christmas. And so I've done a couple of Advent knit-alongs, which I love, and you have the little thing you open every day leading up to Christmas. And they're so much fun, but that's impossible to gift because by the time you get to the holiday where gifts are exchanged, you're supposed to be done with a knit-along.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work. You can't actually get that for a gift.
Mhm.
So I thought it would be awesome to do this as something that you could gift on your holiday of choice. And then it's
That's
12
brilliant.
days. It's like you could have a Christmas cast on or
Or Hanukkah pass on.
yeah.
Knock out 2/3 of it over the days of Hanukkah.
Yeah, definitely. So, it's going to be a secret what the pattern is.
But we've seen it.
But we've seen it, and it's gorgeous. It's designed by Jen Weissman, who, Shady Stroll.
Shady Stroll. Who's local.
Instagram and
Yes,
Ravelry.
who's a local designer, and she designs like the most beautiful stuff.
They're so pretty.
For an advanced beginner, this pattern is totally fine. And the way that she did it, I'm going to divide up each of these skeins into 4 minis. So this will be 4 sets. This will be 4 sets. This will be 4 sets. I have another set of this color and another set of this colorway. So we'll have what? 20?
12.
20
total.
total.
20 total
4.
sets. Yeah.
So 20 sets.
And then that's going to be it because I don't have any more yarn.
So you will get, in this gift along,
Right.
you will get 4 mini skeins from
Yes.
each of our trunk shows.
This is 3 here, and then we have Yarn Over New York coming at the beginning of December. So Yarn Over New York will be in these as well.
Cool.
And then you'll get a skein and a half of a solid color, like a light neutral,
Okay.
which is the background contrast.
Cool. So you'll have the minis
Yep.
and your neutral.
Yep.
And then
And the
you will
pattern.
get that, and then will you have the whole pattern, or will it be broken into chunks?
We're going to do the whole pattern because we
That's good.
appreciate, and you'll get a picture for people like Jen who
We're like, really, why that cast on?
Right.
Tell me why. Justify your choices.
And
So
let me see if I really want to do it now that I know what the fucking
Although-
thing looks like.
With Jen's patterns, I probably wouldn't change.
Oh
Exactly.
my goodness!
No
It's
need to change
You're gonna
anything with
love
her.
it. It's so amazing.
Because if I see her in person, I'd be like, tell me why you think I passed out.
But no, I've seen it and I want to knit it too. But I'm not going to take one of the 20. I've got a little alternative that I'm going to do for myself that isn't as awesome as these.
So
but I want
these
these be for you guys.
These kits will be released on.
After the Yarn Over New York trunk show,
Okay, so after the Yarn Over New York
which is
Trunk Show,
scheduled for
The 4th or 5th?
the 4th
fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
It's early. It's the first weekend in
Right.
December.
Well, they'll be ready
Right.
to pick up then. But I think I'm going to release pre-orders on Black Friday.
Okay,
Right?
so be
So
prepared.
they could be all gone by the time Yarn Over New York comes.
I'm writing this down now for.
Yeah, but so there'll be 20 of them available. And
Black
yeah,
Friday.
And the pattern will be a surprise until you open it.
Yes. So you'll get it. You'll get the pattern with the skeins and the picture, all on the day of the release.
Yep.
We're aiming for a cast-on date if you want to knit along. Of
Well, right. I mean, I'm going to probably cast on Christmas because it'll be cast on. Like I said, it's not surprise.
late
so that
December.
yeah.
But maybe
We'll
we can start it. Maybe we can start it when
On the 21st.
Yeah, start it on the 21st and then play catch up.
Yeah.
Until the 1st.
I mean, for real.
Oops.
For real, I'm going to be too busy with Christmas Eve prep on like the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be the 25th before I have a minute to breathe.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'll be finishing up any last minute gift knits too.
I know, that's the thing, like, the run-up to the holidays, like, if you're like, okay, am I knitting or crocheting something for each night of Hanukkah? In which case, good on you, because that's overreaching. Or how many people do I have to make something for Christmas? Or I have a lot of birthdays this, fall. It's bonkers.
Yeah, but Christmas Day's for me.
Right. Then
Yeah,
you're done.
I plan like an easy meal to put together.
Yeah.
Honey baked ham already cooked. All I have to do is make sides.
Right. So the nice thing about this then will be you can buy it as a gift for yourself.
Yeah.
You could call us and say, I want one of these, put my name on it, and then have your significant other, partner, friend, child, whoever is purchasing a gift for you, pay for it.
Gift it to you.
Or you can do what my family often does, which is buy it for yourself and then go tell them you now owe me X amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Because you bought me
That's
this.
a good plan.
Yeah.
You purchased
We do
this
that
for
too.
me.
We do that too.
But anyway, shape or form. So we'll have these kits ready after the. So you're gonna pre-order on Black Friday.
Right.
Open
It's gonna be
pre-orders, yeah.
That's
Open
when-
pre-orders on Black Friday. When the colorway is sold out, they're sold out. And then, yeah.
But if the colorway is sold out, but you still want to do it,
Yeah, like
we can
I'm
help you pick some colors
Yeah,
of other things. But like
definitely.
really, the kits are fun.
Yeah, so this is, these are all from trunk shows. I can't get more.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
repeatable. But
But yeah, like I'm going to use one of the Frabjous Fiber mini skein
Oh, that's a good
Okay.
idea. Yeah.
sets for mine. Yeah, so we'll probably have like after those are out, we'll have almost like a wait list, but not a wait list of, I want the pattern, but
yeah,
Alternative.
we can
Yeah.
and that's totally fine. We can always kit together things. But talking about Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and kits, this isn't going to be the only thing that
No.
we're going to have
Mm-hmm.
kitted up for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. We have plans. We have a lot of plans.
Yeah.
Some
Things we've done before and they've done really well, and other
Yep.
things we're trying out for the first time. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
and so we're going to show, so there's going to be a lot of show and tell on the next podcast.
the next podcast, you're going to see
Because
a
I
little
will
bit.
probably also not do that much between now and then.
We're going to
So
be putting
save more
together
time to do kits.
kits. Exactly.
That's going to be fun, honestly.
I love doing the kids.
Yeah, doing the kits.
Kids are fun.
That's very like aspirational knitting.
I know, where you can sit there and be like, well, what would I want? And then be like, well, what would somebody else want? What would like a crocheter want? What would a knitter want? What would whatever? And then, yeah,
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Yay!
All right.
So, in the meantime, we hope everybody is having a great fall, and you can like us and subscribe to us down below. You can follow us on Instagram as Shop Yarnia, Ravelry, also Shop Yarnia. Facebook. Don't forget, we post a whole ton of classes and events and stuff on Facebook, as well as in our newsletter,
Yep.
which if you are not already a subscriber, go to shopyarnia.com and you can subscribe there to our mailing list.
Just go to the very bottom of the homepage. That's
Go to the very
easiest
bottom
place
of
to
the
do that.
homepage.
Yep.
And then I will also say that you will get notifications about an email about our kits and sales and all kinds of fun stuff and Amanda's pre-orders. So,
I love this. It's my baby.
Yeah. It's going to be really nice.
did I forget any social media? Probably. I don't know.
That's
YouTube.
Yarnia LLC on Facebook.
Yarnia LLC on Facebook. There we go. And in the meantime, we will see you later. Bye.
Bye. Happy knitting.